Havana Miller was arrested this afternoon after investigators say that Animal Care Services and SAPD found enough in their investigations. ACS telling us that the crime happened Friday morning at an apartment complex on the northwest side. A neighbor recorded video of what appears to be Miller repeatedly hitting the puppy. The 3-month-old poodle was taken into ACS's care last
Had to bring you last night. A 23-year-old woman was arrested after being caught on camera allegedly beating her 3-month-old puppy. It made its rounds on social media and she was arrested and charged with animal cruelty. Today she did bond out of jail and that dog is still under Animal Care Services care and they are investigating. The night team's Zaria Oates talked to a woman who was there when ACS removed that dog from her home.
Made me very angry.
A video sparking outrage online.
When I tell you to come here, you do that.
You can see a woman yelling at and hitting a small dog several times. We aren't showing the video in its entirety as it's difficult to watch.
Shut up!
23-year-old Havana Miller was charged with 1 count of animal cruelty. It can carry a sentence of up to 10 years in prison.
Bad boy! Bad!
As the video made its rounds online, a friend sent it to Geneva Story, a dog rescuer in San Antonio who rehabilitates traumatized dogs.
So a lot of what I do is rehabilitation. So knowing that the mental fact that this puppy could have this trauma for its entire life angers me because it never had to known that life, especially as a baby.
Story was at Miller's apartment complex when San Antonio police and Animal Care Services took the dog away.
Here they come, they have the baby. There's a lot of times where people are like, I want to mind my business, but this is one of those situations you don't want to mind your business of. I mean, if it was a child, people would be jumping in and gung-ho about it, pitchforks and bonfires and burning the building down. I feel like a lot of people see it's a puppy and they just kind of turn the other cheek.
Miller has since posted bond and has been released from the Bexar County Detention Center. We tried to speak with her, but she didn't come to the door. Miller's next court appearance is set for the end of March.
All right, who is here for Dijonette Miller Havana? Hi, is this on the docket today?
No, it's not, which was some confusion. So as a pre-file, it was set for today. And we never got notice that the setting was canceled, so we appeared. My client is here. It has been indicted now, so that, I guess, setting got canceled.
Okay.
And so we have already confirmed. I came in early, spoke with the state yesterday.
Come up.
Yes.
Really nice. Hello, and am I pronouncing your first name correctly?
Havana.
No, your first name.
That's not my first name. That's my middle name, DJ name.
Ah, so the state, this is incorrect. So I'm sure the indictment may be incorrect.
The indictment
Oh,
actually
the
looks like it.
indictment is correct.
Yes, I think they just entered it wrong initially.
All right, let me make sure the docket sheet is correct. All right. So I guess I have an acknowledgement of discovery, so you have all of the discovery?
I have all of the discovery at this point, but we don't have an offer, so we're waiting on that.
All right, so then what I'll do is I'll reset this and I'm gonna reset this for a date. State, when will you be prepared to tender an offer? Well, I mean, it needs to be done, so I can bring it back in 2 weeks for you to tender an offer. So I need to know.
I can't tell you because this case is a special case to the DA. I need to have a meeting with the DA before I can extend an offer. I don't know when that meeting will take place.
All right. So this is what I'll do then. I'm going to set this for 30 days. In 30 days, state you need to tender an offer. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset. All right. All right. Once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay.
You're welcome.
You'll have a seat.
All right, Ms. Kirby. Monique Kirby. Thank you. Hello, how are you doing? All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I really do appreciate that.
Yes.
All right, so they tell me that you are doing well. And the only issue is the fee. Well, for me, it's the restitution. So do we know how much restitution is remaining?
She does it. The restitution itself for a total balance was, that's a false number. She's made payments, I believe, about $3,700 right now.
So let me find out. Probation, Kirby, can you tell me the amount of restitution that's owed?
$3,750. So,
They just changed the rules, not getting too personal. So they keep it 4.0. Make sure. This is all the words, get your proper documentation, and by the deadline.
I'm sorry to have to do this. Can you please give us another moment?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, just have a seat.
Marroquín.
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 Yes, okay. I'm working on it. But you didn't roll your R. Do I roll my R?
Marroquín.
Marroquín. Okay.
Here, she has to repeat back down.
Okay. So you all are educating my student?
Trying to.
Yeah. And I'm calling them student attorneys because,
We're the future attorneys.
yes, awesome. And that is Miss Bashan Abrams. She's with probation.
Okay, so.
Oh, are you all ready?
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
Monique.
Yeah.
All right, we are back again. All right, so the only issue it appears has to be with restitution. So do we have an amount of restitution that is owed?
Judge, so the total amount of restitution was the $3,750. She has made payments totaling $2,435 toward her account. As you are aware, when a corporation is the party that should be paid for the restitution, that corporation essentially is the last priority when making payments. So none of that monies have gone to the corporation. It has gone to all of her other fees.
All right. So what the court is going to do is, by my calculations, you say that the amount she owed was $3,750?
Yes, Judge.
And she has paid $2,435?
Yes, Judge.
So that means that she has a balance of restitution for the court of $1,315. So with the $1,315, have you worked out a payment plan for paying $1,315?
I worked out a payment plan, but towards like the rest of what I own, the 3,000 something.
She worked out a payment plan for the total amount, Judge, that she owes, because that, of course, doesn't take in account her other fees.
All right. Here, Marlon Daniels. All right, so on this case, blood discovery, where are we?
So there were 3 facilities that were involved. We received a blood discovery about from 1 facility, but I've reached out to the other 2 facilities, and they've represented to me that the state will be in possession of it by April the 9th.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Put this case, and you said April when?
9th.
All right, put this for discovery the week of April 21st. Yes. The week of April 21st.
The 21st.
All right, so we'll be back on April 21st.
I have an agreed order for you from my clients. You put him on probation a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. His wife just needs property that he has. They don't object to it.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And we'll have you back on April 21st. Counsel, just give me a moment.
Oh, sure.
And this return of property, that's only in one case?
Yeah, that's the only thing that
Okay.
they need.
Oh, this is a completely different case. This is not concerning this client.
Right, it's a
Okay.
different person you put on probation a couple of weeks ago,
Right,
and he's in custody and the wife just needs these property.
okay. Right, they need to put it in the system, but they'll give you a copy.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Javier Villalba. Javier Arturo Villalba. All right. I think he's in the hallway or something. Okay. You have Javier?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a trial going on next 30 minutes.
All right, so where is he? He stepped out.
He's in the, we go get him.
All right, thank you.
Already sworn in.
All right, come forward.
So this is the old one. This is the new one. You have to re-swear in them.
Hello. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I promise you, I'm going to be practicing on how to say your last name. So I'm working on that.
Pretty simple. Just
Villalba?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have.
see, Deputy Laura said it incorrectly. Villalba.
Yes. I have them
Yeah, I was in back.
to the state.
All right, counsel, how long is your jury trial? You think?
I don't know, Your Honor, I just got hired about, was it a month ago?
No, I mean your jury trial.
Oh, we picked the jury yesterday and hopefully it won't last more than 2 days. Hopefully,
All right.
today's Tuesday, so hopefully it wins. It's Wednesday.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this the week of April 21st, please?
Yes, ma'am, I can do the 22nd.
All right, so we'll be back here April 22nd. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, I'm still conferring with the DA, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Kevin Huggins. Hello, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so guys, come on up. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, so have you had a chance to confer with the state?
Your Honor, we haven't been able to access any of the discovery in this case.
All right, who's the prosecutor?
I've spoken with Mr. Edelman. And so our plan is
All
to get them a hard drive
Okay.
and get the discovery transferred over to that.
What's with the issue with discovery?
It's uploaded, he can't access it. I told him to provide me with an external hard drive, download all of the discovery and transfer it to the hard drive so that he can.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
can you recall this for the week of the 21st, please? Next month, April 22nd?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, Christopher Beltran, is he out here?
Yes.
All right, let's proceed.
Yeah.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing all right, sometimes yourself.
Oh, I'm doing okay. I cannot complain.
Good.
All right. Court is calling 2019 CR 9959 State versus Christopher Daniel Beltran. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Tony Adonis on behalf of Mr. Beltran.
All right, the defense has filed a motion asking the court to reconsider and grant credit for time served spent in the substance abuse treatment facility and time spent in federal custody.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so the time spent in federal custody, if this case was pending and if there was a warrant that was issued for the pendency, during the pendency of this case, and he was serving federal time, then I'll give him credit for that. If there was not a warrant in place, then the court is not going to give him credit. So the question becomes, what date was he in federal custody?
Judge, I've reviewed the judgment in his federal case, and it appears that he was, well, let's back up just a minute.
Okay.
There was a drug court warrant issued on March 24th of 2023.
Okay, March 24th, 2023.
Was the drug court warrant, yes. Your
Okay, drug court warrant.
Mr. Beltran was arrested and placed in federal custody April 10th, 2023. An MTR warrant was issued June 22nd, 2023. And then he was booked into Bexar County January 14th of 2025.
All right, so with regards to the drug court warrant, the court will note, you're an officer of the court. The court will note it appears that the warrant you said was issued March 24th, 2023 from felony drug court.
March 24th, 2023, correct, Your Honor?
All right, and at that time when the warrant was issued,
It was.
he was not in custody.
He was not in custody, Judge. He was
So-
placed in federal custody April 10th, 2023.
All right, so he's in federal custody on April 10th, 2023. All right, state, with regards to federal time, beginning April 10th, 2023, do you have any objections? All right, and so when he had federal custody on April 10th, 2023, was a bond ever made on this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then the court is going to find that he's entitled to time beginning April 10th, 2023. All right, then the next.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So anything else with regards to federal custody time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the next issue is you're requesting credit for time spent in a treatment substance facility. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So it really determines on what successful completion means in the facility, because it's the court's understanding from hearing this case previously. Did he abscond from the halfway house?
He did, I believe, Your Honor.
All right. So then the question becomes, and it doesn't appear that the law is clear. What is successful completion? What does facility mean? Is the halfway house a part of their facility? Because it would appear to the court that when you're in the treatment facility, they send you to facilities that they have jurisdiction over as far as their program is concerned. So it would seem to the court that the halfway house is a part of the facility.
And Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
4203, Section 2A2 states that in all criminal cases, the judge of the court in which the defendant is convicted shall give the defendant credit on the defendant's sentence for the time that the defendant spent in a substance abuse treatment facility operated by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice under 493009 Government Code, or another court-ordered residential program or facility as a condition of deferred adjudication community supervision if the defendant successfully completes the treatment program. And then it says at that facility, Judge. The facility that he was sentenced to was a safety facility, which is part of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He spent 2 trips over there. He went from July 1st, 2020 to December 29th, 2020, and he successfully completed the treatment program, the safety treatment program at that facility. He again went on August 19th, 2021 through January 27th, 2022 to the safety facility, which is again part of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice system. And he completed that program at that facility. The statute doesn't address any residential treatment facility because residential treatment facilities or aftercare treatment programs, and I think they refer to it as let me see. They refer to it as a different name, Judge, and the importance of that, Your Honor, is that those aftercare treatment facilities may or may not be part of the TDC system, whereas safety is absolutely part of the TDC system. So when the statute addresses residential treatment under the government code and under the guidance of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and then when it says at that facility, Judge, we would argue that it means the residential treatment facility that is actually safety, that is actually run by TDCJ.
All right. So do we know if the aftercare facility is under their umbrella or not?
We do not, Judge. And I think that's the primary difference, Judge. The aftercare facility, he can come and go based on whatever the personnel tells him he can do there. Safe P itself is a lockdown facility. He has no choice. He cannot leave that facility. And I think that is one of the reasons why he should be given credit for that particular program. And I think that's the differentiation between the two programs. The statute clearly says at that facility, it doesn't say any subsequent facility. It doesn't address any subsequent facility whatsoever.
All right, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, there has not been any evidence presented to the court that the aftercare facility is not a part of the criminal justice facility. For the court, the law is unclear as to what facility means. It appears from everything I've heard from both parties, Safe P ordered the defendant to a halfway house as a part of its continuing treatment. So the court is going to give you credit for the federal time beginning April 10th, 2023, which the state is agreeing to because a warrant was issued from the drug court on March 24th, 2023. And you were in federal custody beginning April 10th, 2023. So you will receive time beginning April 10th, 2023, and the clerks will make sure that he receives time for that. With regards to time for successful completion of safety, the court is finding that you did not successfully complete it. There's been no evidence presented to the court that and defense counsel has stated he's not aware if the aftercare facility is under the direction of safety, but based upon evidence that the court has received, Safe P is the facility, or the directors there did order you to the halfway house and you absconded from the halfway house. So the court is not finding that you successfully completed your inpatient treatment. So the court is not going to give you credit for Safe P time.
Judge, may I put one more thing on the record? Judge, in regards to the difference between the two facilities, the reason that, well, a potential difference between these two programs is that were he to have finished the aftercare treatment program through the safety program and then subsequently been revoked, the court's only authority would have been to give him credit for the time spent in the actual safety program. The court doesn't have authority to give him credit for the aftercare program, which is not a lockdown facility. So again, I think that's another distinction between the two facilities. And when the statute says at that facility, that's the only, our argument would be that the only facility that the statute can be speaking about is the actual TDC program, the safety program, and not the aftercare, as the court doesn't have authority to give aftercare credit.
All right. All right. Is there anything else?
No, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge. Maybe be excused.
Yes, but if you want to make sure that the clerks have the correct time for him for the federal custody.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who is here on Angel Placencia?
I am, Your Honor. We're ready.
All right, if you'll come forward, please. So I'm going to call the style of the case, and the style of the case is the case number, who is the defendant, and who all the parties are. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011483, State versus Angel Placencia. Can I have parties announced?
Joseph Dateson for defendant.
And are you Mr. Placencia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of unlawfully carrying of a weapon as a Class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to a $4,000 fine and 1 year in the Bexar County Jail? Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of unlawfully carrying of a weapon. They're requesting an $800 fine and recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, community service restitution hours, no contact with SAISD properties, and there is to be no possession of firearm. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may add something.
Yes.
My client resides with his mother. And he has accepted a job in Wilson County. He's going to be moving to Wilson County. He's asking for probation to be transferred to Wilson County with your permission.
All right, how old are you?
18.
All right, did you graduate from high school?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, why did you do something so silly?
I was just being stupid.
But why?
Poor decisions.
Well, but of all the things that you could do, one, why are you posing with a weapon? Why do people think that's cool?
I feel like I just see everybody else think it's cool, and I'm very stubborn. I could get really hard-headed sometimes.
Mhm.
And I try to fit in with the crowd. And really, I wasn't raised that way. My mother raised me on different principles, and my father raised me on different principles. And with time, I feel like I eventually did learn that that's not the way I was raised at all.
Yeah, I don't know why people want to follow people or fit into a group. Sometimes it's great not to fit in a group. Yeah. What's the saying, in a world where you can be anything, be a unicorn? Yeah. So stand out. Then people will remember you, but not for the wrong reasons. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life as far as employment?
Like as in employment, I wanted to join the military. It's actually been like a goal of mine since I was like a very little kid. But right now I'm in the old fields, and because I was gonna go into the military, to the army, and I was gonna get my hazmat, my CDL, and my hazards license, and I was gonna do a few years or even like 6 or so, like gain a lot of experience, and then get out of the military and have a hazmat, like driving trucks, because that's what my father does. And eventually I do want to start a business with him, where we have our own contracting business with 4 trucks. Basically, we just own our own truck company and we get hired.
Let me ask you this. What is your dream job right now?
The military.
All right, so this is what the court will do. If you are in the military and this is holding you back and he signs the paperwork to go to the military, I'll terminate him. All right?
Yes.
Because this could have turned out so differently, but I don't think this is an offense that should necessarily stop you from going to the military, if that's what you want to do. So if you want to go to the military, I'm sure the states will have no objections to terminating you early. Then you will be in the military. You understand?
Yes.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no possession of firearms. And I know in the military, you'll need to possess firearms. So if he's accepted into the military and he signs on the dotted line, then I will terminate him.
Yes, Judge.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
There's to be proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There should be 80 hours of community service restitution. If you obtained a CDL or some type of higher level education or a trade school certification, the court will deem this community service hours satisfied. There's to be no contact with SAISD properties. So that means school activities, you're not allowed to go. However, do you have any siblings?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you have a sibling who's in school and I don't know, they're having a track meet or there's some event or graduation at the school, just let me know.
Yes, Judge.
There'll be a transfer to Wilson County. There's an $800 fine and that will be probated. And Miss Abrams, I'm gonna order a gun safety course for him. Probation, is there anything else that he needs?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful? I'm sorry?
Oh, no.
Right.
Your Honor, I had asked him to take a gun safety class prior to the plea. He actually did finish it. Would he be given credit for that certificate of completion for the class?
Yes, as long as it was completed after this incident.
Yes, it was completed within the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right, yes. All right, we can go off the record. You're young. Here's the thing. Everything that you do in life, before you do it, you know what you need to ask yourself. What's the downsides to my doing this? Is this something that's going to impact me? And by all means, do not put anything in writing that you do not want the entire world to read, because the entire world may read it, or your mom may read it, or your dad may read it. And if it helps you or you're confused, should I do something or should I not? Just think about your mom and dad and think, am I doing something to make them proud of me? You understand? And if the answer is no, don't do it. And if you still have questions, pick up the phone, call your mom and dad for advice. You understand? All right, good luck to you. If you need anything, you can always come back to court and let me know. And I'm serious, if he signs up for the
Yes, Judge.
military, then I will terminate him early.
I was already in the process too. Like I've been currently going to the recruiting office,
Okay.
and I do have a recruiter that I talk to.
Well, I tell you what, if you're serious about it, and I'm not pushing you either way, but if that's something that you want to do, if they have a concern about this offense, you can let them know that I've already spoke to the judge and the judge said that she will terminate me early if you all are accepting me.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good day. And thanks for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.
Thank you.